All right, guys, this next topic that we're gonna be talking about is gonna be the Topspin Push Dink. Keep in mind that anytime that we hit a push dink, we have to feel like we're in control of the dinking exchange. That means that the dink coming at you isn't pushing you off the court, isn't pulling you out of position, and usually it's probably coming off a lift. It's coming off a lift dink where it's bouncing up a little higher, you have some time, you can take a little step back. But hitting a push dink is necessary in select areas. Just keep in mind that when you use a push dink, it has to be very selective, meaning that you have to be in control of the exchange. So some of the technique nuggets that I think about as I'm adding topspin into my push dink. I think something that should be said here is that if you like hitting topspin drops from the baseline, then it would make sense that you utilize that same technique as you're hitting a dink. Why? Because your third shot drop technique is a modified dink essentially. So if you like using topspin with your drop, it would make sense that you utilize the same sort of philosophy or the same technique on your dink. But when I'm thinking about adding topspin, I guess when I'm thinking about adding spin, I'm thinking in terms of less is more. A little bit of spin goes a long ways. So as I'm using topspin, I'm not using my wrist. I'm not yanking this thing over. I'm more so just kind of kissing the outside edge of the ball, giving it a little soft tissue massage. But I think the phrase that a little bit of spin goes a long ways makes a lot of sense. Okay, we don't have to overcreate. We don't have to overdo it. Know that we are playing with a plastic ball that is very sensitive. So we're just looking to get a little bit of top spin. We're just looking to get a little bit of brush on the outside edge of the ball just to get the ball to go down a bit more. But if I were to put a clock on the ball here, 12, 3, 6, and 9, as I'm hitting a forehand push dink, I'm going to be catching the ball at 3 o'clock. Okay? Catching the ball at 3 o'clock. If I'm hitting a backhand topspin push, I'm going to be catching the ball at 9 o'clock. Also too, some of the technique with my arm, okay? If there was a rubber band or if there was a string attached to my wrist and it also attached to my shoulder and my hips, as I'm hitting this topspin push dink, all those units work together. So think about the organization or think about the unity of your mechanics kind of being like a math equation. Things have to be correct from start to finish. And in this situation or in this shot here, everything should be flowing together and all the big pieces are gonna work as a unit. Hey picklers, if you enjoyed this instructional video, do me a favor, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn those notifications on. Okay guys, first drill here for levels 2.5 and 3.0. We are working on a topspin push dink. In order for us to work on the fundamentals, in order for us to really get the technique down and understand how to properly add some topspin on a push dink, we're gonna do it from a very stationary drill. So first drill, you're gonna be tossing and hitting, okay? Or you're gonna bounce and hit for yourself. Okay, so what's gonna happen here is that I have cones lined up. I have cones lined up in the pressurized zone. So just to kind of give you an idea, here's our kitchen 7 feet. Here's our 3.5 foot line that breaks the kitchen in half. Let's call this the shallow zone, this 3.5 foot zone in here, this little alleyway, call that the shallow zone. Okay, this is our neutral zone. And then if you see where my cones are positioned here, this little foot alleyway right in front of the kitchen line there, that is called the pressurized zone. As I'm working on this first progression, as I'm working on this first drill, my job isn't to be aiming at the cones, more so I'm just looking to hit my topspin push dink in that pressurized zone. Okay, so aiming for depth and aiming for like a foot in front of the kitchen there. Also too, working on the correct technique. So I'm letting the ball sit on the apex. I'm letting the ball sit on the apex, and I am giving the back of the ball a little tiny kiss. I am just caressing the back of the ball, giving it a little soft tissue massage. Okay, I would call this overcreating. I would call this overcreating. Okay, know that less is a lot more. You don't have to put a lot into it. And know that as you're hitting a push dink here, I'm not aiming for pace. I'm more so aiming to put the ball in these uncomfortable spots that forces my opponent to either feel indecisive or forces them to feel pressure because I'm forcing them to deal with balls in these uncomfortable areas, okay? Again. I'm just kissing the back of the ball. If we were to pull out our clock again, as we're hitting this topspin push dink, I want you starting at 4 o'clock and then just finishing at 2. Starting at 4, finishing at 2, okay? Know that a little bit of spin goes a long ways. In that exercise, let's hit 5 to 10 and then let's switch sides. Okay guys, now we're gonna run it going the other way. So now I'm on the left side of the court. I am working on dropping and hitting topspin backhand push dinks, okay? I would say that I use my backhand topspin push dink probably 20% of the time. I usually like to slice a bit more. That makes more sense to me. It's more comfortable to me. Why? Also is because when I'm at the baseline and I'm hitting third shot drops, I'd rather use my slice backhand drop. I feel like just with like the positioning of my wrist, I have better consistency. Just all in all, I'm just much more comfortable with being offensive on my backhand side from a slicing standpoint versus topspin. But we're gonna work on this here. Same thing. I'm gonna bounce for myself, let the ball come to the apex. Bounce for myself, let the ball come to the apex. I would say that I'm catching the ball at 9 o'clock now, finishing at like 11 or finishing at 12. I'm just kind of kissing and going up the back of the ball. Okay, again. Okay, I'm just getting that little bit of roll going on. Know that topspin makes the ball go up and down. Okay, beautiful. Same thing. I'm not aiming for the cones. I'm more so just trying to find that pressurized foot zone right in front of the kitchen there. So now we're going to be using topspin in this drill setting. So what's going to take place here is that we're going to be dinking back and forth. We are both looking to be offensive with that topspin push dink, but we're only looking to be offensive with our push dink when we have time, when we're stable in the correct location, when the ball is in yellow. Just keep in mind that when you're using that push dink, that all the little pieces have to be there. Make sure that that your preparation and your organization is like a math equation. Things have to be correct from start to finish. Okay. In this drill setting, so we're both looking to push when necessary. We are also looking to use a reset dink when we get pulled out in the outside quadrant. This is the outside quadrant. Also too, on this side over here, this is the outside quadrant. I would say a common tendency with higher level dinking is that we get pulled out of position and we want to look to reset that ball back cross court versus reset it back in the middle. Okay, so dinking back and forth, looking to be offensive, using that topspin push dink, and then resetting when we get pulled out in the outside quadrant. And then also too, if we get pulled wide enough and the ATP is available, you can look to hit you can look to hit the ATP. Okay, Jim, you ready here, buddy? Yep. Okay, let's do it. Okay, dinking back and forth. Okay, resetting back in the middle. Okay, there we go. Start working my topspin push out of the air or off the bounce. Okay. Jen, that is very nice of you. Very nice of you. Okay. Okay, resetting back in the middle. Move him around. Up. Reset back in the middle. See that there? Anytime that I'm on my back foot, anytime that my feet are still moving, I probably shouldn't be hitting a push dink, okay? That should always result in a lift dink. Sorry, that's my fault, sorry. Thank you. Look at those wheels. Push. Okay. I'm just kissing the outside edge of the ball. No way. Okay, let's go other side here. Okay, ready here. Same drill, other side, topspin push dink. Okay, taking some out of the air when I can. Okay, here we go, off the bounce. Reset back in the middle. Reset back in the middle. Start moving him around. Okay. Oh, that's a good ball, nice. Topspin. Topspin push. ATP. Hey. Don't take that away from me, man. God dang it. No, I'm kidding. Get out of here.
It's an instinct. Shadow. Middle.
Yeah. Forehand.
Nice.
So I'm being very selective on the ball that I push and that I lift. As you can see in that exercise, just when I'm not working with a whole lot of time and I'm half volleying, or I'm making contact outside of my bubble here and I'm scrambling, I'm always looking to lift back. We're only really looking to push when we're stable, when we have enough time, when the preparation's there. So I would say be very selective in this category. Okay guys, game here for levels 2.5 and 3.0. This is gonna be for Topspin Push Dinks. Coach Jim and I have cones in front of us and they are cross court from us. So we're gonna be aiming towards the cones. We're gonna be dropping and hitting, and as we drop and hit, we're gonna drop and hit with a Topspin Push Dink. Okay, we are gonna try to hit the cones. The first person to hit 4 cones is the winner here. Keep in mind that if you're doing this game at home with some friends, you can only grab 2 balls at once. Coach Jim here tried to grab 10 and put them in his pockets, and I said, no, no, no. As you're hitting a Topspin Push Dink, okay, make sure that you are caressing the back part of the ball. I would say that if the ball's a clock, you're probably making contact right at 4. Okay, ready here? I can only have 2 balls. Okay, drop and hit and go. I got 1, baby. Come on, Jim, get it together. He's got 1, okay.
Just relax.
All right, I got 1. I got 2.
Okay, my second one's coming up right there.
Okay. Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, that was good.
Okay, there's 3.
All right, I'll be right behind you on that one.
Oh, okay, I got 3.
I got 2 left, and we'll call it done.
Come on. No!
That's what I said.
Here we go. Just kiss. Okay. Oh.
I bounced right over.
There we go. Got it. Okay. So after we get our 4, you can go to 10, you can go to 15, whatever. Okay. Main thing is that you're stationary. You're working on your technique, and then also too, another big piece here is that the cones are positioned right in front of the kitchen line in that pressurized zone alleyway. Okay. So after we get to 4, or after one person wins, then we're gonna switch sides. Same exercise, first to 4. Jim's now working on his forehand topspin push dink. I am working on my backhand topspin push. Okay, ready here? And go. 1, 2, all day long, man, all day. All day. 3. Hey, oh, thank you, thank you. I've got 3. Oh, okay. 4, perfect, okay. Let's see it here. Oh, okay.